Hey everybody, this is Mr. Nathan here. Just gonna do a really quick guitar tutorial for the song Say It Ain't So by Weezer. So for the original song, you're gonna want to down tune, but this is just gonna be in standard tuning just to give you a good idea of kind of some of the different parts. It's not gonna be a playthrough through the entire thing, but I'll at least just give you some pieces to get you going. So the main chord progression in this song that's going to be recognizable from the start is a C sharp minor bar chord to a G sharp bar chord to an A bar chord to an E. So you could, of course, capo and do some open chords if you're not quite there with bar chords yet, but that's really what you're going to need to be able to do to play along with the song, kind of with that original chord progression, is you got to have a little bit of bar chord experience under your belt. So basically what you have is you have that first chord, C sharp minor, but what they do is they hammer on the ring, pinky, and middle finger, and that kind of gives it that initial sound with that first chord. So initially you're kind of just barring that pointer finger across the 4th fret, and you're using that thumb in the back to give it some support, and you're just going to be hammering on, and then a really short up strum with those bottom 3 strings. Okay, and then you go to the G sharp, but then here, you're actually just gonna be pushing down. You're not gonna be barring all the way down like you would with those thinnest strings. Okay, so you can do the hammer on, and then you're gonna pull it off and just hit 6, 4, 3, 2, and then you're gonna slide up strum on those thin strings, then to the open E, and then they go up to the 9th fret, hammer on to 11 on the A string, and then bar 4 and 3 string on the 9th fret. So that's basically kind of the blueprint for your chord progression for that song. Now in the back, you have another guitar doing some other kind of versions of those chords, just in some triads. So you have a lot of this kind of and beat kind of strumming pattern in terms of the rhythm, working with this original chord progression. So the first one is just looking at basically kind of like a C shape, ring finger on fret 6 of your 3rd string, middle finger on fret 5 of 2, middle finger on fret 4 of 1. And then we just basically compact that, move our ring finger back, same string, but move back to 5. And then we're gonna put our pointer finger on fret 4, string 2, and then a middle finger on fret 4, string 1. So, and then just take that same shape, move it up a half step. So it's here, start. And then we're just gonna bring our pointer finger down to 1st fret on the G string, or on the 3rd string. So that second guitar part, kind of working with the original chords, with those bar chords, will sound like this. And notice you're gonna cap those strings with your right hand so that it doesn't just ring. You don't want this. got to give it a little bit of that percussive feel by just cutting those chords short. And time. And that works really good. If you have someone else that can play that works really, really nicely together. Now, moving into the main chorus, we'll put on a little bit of gain. Same chords, but we're just punching them to give the chorus a different feel, and we're not doing any of kind of the plucking through the chords. Just nice solid chords, like those bar chord shapes. And just that E gets that push. Everything else is 1 and 2 and 4 and. Okay, so they're all coming down on and push. Now you will hear, as the song goes on, you'll hear that little lead line in between the chords. And you can do this if you're the only guitar player, but it's handy to have a second guitar player doing those bends, which is just a full bend up to where you have the G and B string working together. And for that, your main note you're hitting or wanting to bend to is that 5-string fret 2, okay? So it's that E chord, or that E note rather, and you're bending the G string from the 7th fret up to that note. So here's our note we want to get to, and then we're gonna bend up there, but we're gonna hit them together to get that kind of feel with those two bends. So it gets a little bit out of phase a bit, and in between there it's gonna sound like this. So it has those two bends, and you want to get right to that note. Okay, I'm just going to double check my tuning real quick. But that basically will work with those chords for the chorus section, okay? Then the bridge, that goes to a kind of a different chord. We're going to a B chord. And then basically for that, something that you see in a lot of rock songs is you just have those first, or the 6 and 5 string working like you would for a bar chord. Here we have it on 7 and 9. And then we're just gonna lower our pointer finger, or that B, to a B flat, but keep our pinky where it was for the regular B. Okay, and then we're gonna go to an E, to a G. And then it goes to the chorus again. Okay, so basically, get this gain off. So basically you've got that opening chord progression with that hammer on, and then lifting off that bar chord to get those open strings. Okay, and those up strums really give it that flavor of the song. And then you have the chorus, which is just hitting that with gain and punching those on the 1, 1, 1, and then the push for the E, okay? Add in those bends if you want to, or get another guitar player to do that. Same with the verses, if you want to do kind of those percussive offbeat strums, that kind of balances out really well too. And then the bridge, just hit up to B, but then lower that bottom note, that root note, to a B flat, and then to an E, and then a G. So that's like really kind of the raw blueprint for the song. And then remember, if you want to play along with the original song, you're going to down tune, and then that'll match the track. But at least start now, if you could just kind of start with a standard tuning, get used to those chords and those different parts, and then try down tuning and playing along with the song, and then you'll be good to go. All right, have fun with this great song by Weezer, and we'll see you next time.